Hey guys, it's been a while since we watched a video, but today we're going to get started with inequalities. And inequalities are very similar to equations, except instead of having an equal sign, you're going to have these four different little guys right here. Okay? So there's four different types of inequalities that you need to know, and you need to be able to identify these four different signs. Okay? So for letter A, you have is greater than or equal to. If you have an or equal to in your inequality, that means it has a line underneath it. Okay, so remember that it has a line underneath it. So for A, is greater than or equal to is going to be that guy. Okay, is less than, that just means that you have an inequality sign without a line underneath it, and it's going to be, the mouth is going to be facing to the right. Okay, is greater than is going to be similar, except it's going to be facing the other direction. Once again, it does not have a line underneath it, and it's going to have its mouth open to the left. Is less than or equal to is just like is greater than or equal to, except it's facing the opposite direction. Okay, so you need to be comfortable with all those different inequalities and have them memorized for different situations in this unit. Okay, with inequalities, you're going to have lots of answers. Now with an equation, you typically found just one answer, but inequalities have lots of answers. So an example to illustrate that, you could have an inequality that is something like x is greater than 6, for instance. Okay, well, x can be lots of different things. It just has to be greater than 6. So you could have answers like 7, 8, 9, 10, all the way up, however many you needed to find. Okay, so inequalities have lots of answers. Okay, we're going to do a couple of little word problems here to help us learn to write inequalities to represent a situation. Okay, this one says, a trainer advises an athlete to keep his heart rate under 140 beats per minute. Okay, so it can't be 140, it can't be greater than 140, it has to be less than 140. Okay, so it says H is our heart rate, and we want to write an inequality. So we're going to let heart rate equal H, and it says that our heart rate has to be under or less than 140 beats per minute. Okay, so that would say that your heart rate could be anything under than 140. Let's get a different pen color here. Second one says the max speed allowed on Main Street is 25 miles per hour. Okay, the max speed allowed on Main Street is 25 miles per hour. So let's go ahead and set our S for speed. And the max speed allowed is 25. So 25 is allowed, and it can be underneath. So our max speed to be legal would be less than or equal 20 to 25 miles an hour. So that says you can be 25 miles an hour, or you could be anything less than to be within your max speed. Okay, so let's try a couple more here. Alright, so it says students must have at least 5 credits to move on to the high school. So that's your guys' situation at the freshman center. You must have at least 5 credits to move on to the freshman, or move on to the high school. Okay, so we're going to have our C represent our credits. And you have to earn at least that many. So your credits can be greater than, or they can be equal to 5 to make sure that you can move on to the high school. Last one for you basketball people. It says, Kobe Bryant makes more than, keyword, more than 79% of his free throws in every season he has played. Okay, so we want to write an inequality that represents his free throw percentage. Okay, so we got free throws is our F, and it has to be more than, so it can't be equal to 79, it has to be more than 79%. So that would represent Kobe's free throw percentage in every season he has played. Okay, so make sure you have all these different pieces on this page, and when you have it, go ahead and move on. All right. Okay, this is just a little bit of a preview for tomorrow's notes. You do not need to do this right now. I didn't need to include this in the video, but I accidentally left it in there. So this is not for today. It is for tomorrow. Okay, so go ahead and take a look at your homework for today. Have a great one.